All right, well, welcome to another episode of Where the Stones Have a Story to Tell. And today's story is a very interesting one. It is about snake effigies, and this is the first in several episodes we will do on snake effigies here in Gilbert Hills State Forest in Foxboro, Massachusetts. I swept this away in preparation for the episode. While I found this a number of years ago, there was a feature here I did not expect to see when I swept away and got into the detail of the underlying stone. In a recent article from academia.edu, the feature that I found was highlighted there, and I think you're going to find the analysis and the research very interesting. So with that, let's get to the detail of this structure, and then we're going to get into the research and analysis. So stay around for the whole episode. So we're going to start our view up the snake effigy from the tail to the head. You see a four-sided end of the tail, very different than many of the other rocks, almost all of the other rocks in this formation. So as we work our way up the tail, there are about 30 or so stones in a row that work its way up to the base of the head. And so if that was the body of the snake that we just saw, we see now the head starting here, and this stone here is going to come into play as we take a look at some of the Connecticut research that was done on a very similar snake effigy. A white stone with a very clear triangular feature here. All right, from here, the head breaks out into two sides, the right and the left. And as I swept some of the debris away so you could see it, I noticed something about this that I had not seen before. And that is that while I expected, and I noticed originally, this to be head, although when I first came here, I had no idea what it was. It took me years to decipher possibly what it even was. But the head carries through here, and when I swept this away, I found surprisingly that this part stopped here. There's no stone here, and no stone carries around this rock. If we head over here to the other side of the head, it does the same thing. It comes all the way around and stops right about here with an interesting stone possibly there and a gap here. That puzzled me and sent me back into research. Immediately, this did seem to me that it could be similar to the snake Serpent Mound in Ohio. Very famous. A link to it in the description. It was subject of a documentary recently on the History Channel. But real quickly, that set me on a path where I found an article here in academia.edu that then could give us an explanation for why it would appear this snake effigy's head is wrapped around a circular stone. So let's go to that article now. When I brushed off the leaves and some dirt from the snake effigy, I found that that head did not complete a oval, and it stopped around that rock. I did recognize that there was a similarity to the very famous Adams County Serpent Mound that was the subject of a recent documentary in the History Channel. But it still really didn't answer what I was looking at. So went in and did some more research and ended up finding this article. This article is Serpents and Agriculture, The Power of the Seed by Mary Gage, written about 2019-2020. In this article, the research team documents multiple snake effigies in sites in Connecticut. The first one has a striking resemblance to ours. It's a single row of stones. The head doesn't entirely meet up, and there is a stone in the middle. And the team hypothesizes that that stone represents a seed in the mouth of a serpent. So as we see in the next image, there are also other similarities with a triangle and a white stone in the body of the snake effigy. In our case, we can see they're an embedded single boulder, but the author goes on to document the similarities between the Adams County famous Serpent Mound and the one they found in Connecticut. And then the article, through the next 30 pages, really goes on to describe the legends across a number of different tribes, starting with the power of the serpent itself, the relationship between the serpent and rain, some origin stories around how the serpent delivered the water and the seed to Native American tribes to start their whole agriculture. They also go on in this article to discuss the underworld and the relationship between the serpent and the underworld and food. So this article, Serpent and Agriculture, the Power of the Seed, I think really ties together not just the snake effigy they found in Connecticut and the Adams County famous Serpent Mound, but the one we've got here in Gilbert Hills has a striking similarity to that. All right, well, there you have it. I think this demonstrates, one, that this is a snake effigy. Two, it's a fairly rare type of snake effigy. Three, it represents a relationship to rain and agriculture with an origin story about how Native Americans first got seeds to plant. Now, not probably unrelated, directly to my left, at about less than 100 yards, is an intermittent stream. We are sitting in a little valley, and right about the same distance, maybe 100 yards or so this way, is an active farm today. Probably not this area right here used for agriculture. It's very rocky, but there are flat fields and still an active farm out there today. So with that, I think we've demonstrated a very interesting find here at Gilbert Hills State Forest with regard to ancient Native American structures. The bonus content in the end, I will show you how the bird effigy from the last episode actually points right to this site, and it is embedded in a balancing boulder. Balancing boulders are going to be a subject of another episode in the future. They also have a relationship to Native American spirituality. With that, thanks for watching. Upcoming episodes, more snake effigies, and now check out the bonus content of my orienteering capability coming through the forest, following the compass and getting to this spot. So we're going to get right parallel to the bird here, and that is going to be just under 270 degrees. Let's call that 260. But in orienteering, we're going to go from tree to tree. So let's do a little time-lapse video and head this way. And at about 260 degrees, or directly toward where the sun was setting, we are right on what I believe to be a snake effigy. And we're going to start again from the tail, but the tail starts there, the body starts here, there's an oval mound, and the end of it's there.